Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV AM News, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Chidima Jewasin. President Bola Tinubu has directed payment of all pending group life assurance owed to the families of deceased soldiers without delay. Kikelemo Okere reports that the Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tarid Lagbaja made the disclosure on Tuesday while declaring open the Chief of Army Staff Combined Second and Third Quarter Conference 2023 at the Army Headquarters Command Officers Mess in Abuja.
The Chief of Army Staff stated that troops' welfare and that of their families will continue to remain paramount in all his efforts to enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of soldiers.
I wish to express the Nigerian Army's gratitude once again to the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for directing that all pending group life assurance payments owed to the families of our departed warriors be paid without delay.
In the meantime, the President also directed the armed forces and other security agencies to decisively deal with all security challenges facing the country.
I charge field commanders to ensure the maintenance of these platforms and equipment to prolong their lifespan and enable the nation to optimize its investments. To align with the directive of the Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, that the armed forces and other security agencies should decisively deal with all security challenges facing the country. We must continue to conduct ourselves in a manner that reflects us as a committed force. In line with this, I conceived my command philosophy to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped, and highly motivated force towards achieving our constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment.
The Army Chief noted that the activities of Operation Hardin Kai in the northeast have effectively curtailed Boko Haram and other terrorist activities in the region, leading to the large-scale surrender of members of the terrorist groups and the submission of a large cache of arms and ammunition.
President Bola Tinubu has called for a thorough and comprehensive investigation into the recurring tragedy of fatal boat incidents across the nation. This is contained in a statement by Chief Ajuri Ngalale, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity on Tuesday in Abuja. Tinubu said government agencies would be held accountable for any regulatory or safety lapses, urging that comprehensive safety measures and enforcement must be carried out on boating activities in the country. The President directed various government agencies, including law enforcement, maritime safety, and transportation safety authorities, to collaborate in identifying the causes of these unfortunate and preventable disasters. Tinubu extended his heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims who lost their lives in the recent boat mishaps in Mokwa local government area of Niger and Green Village in Fufore local government of Adamawa. Vice President Kashim Shettima has restated the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to prioritize the welfare of Nigerians in its programs and policies. The Vice President stated this on Monday at the flag-off ceremony for the distribution of palliatives worth 5.1 billion naira by the Sokoto State government, adding that the President is committed to alleviating the poverty among the vulnerable. Uyi Agbomofregbe has the rest of the story.
According to the Vice President, Tinubu's administration is committed to promoting the welfare of citizens, noting that the distribution of palliatives by the Sokoto State government is a laudable initiative by the governor, which is worthy to be emulated by other state governments.
It gives me a great deal of pleasure and privilege to be here with you on behalf of my principal, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to plug up the people-friendly initiatives of Governor Ahmed Aliu Sokoto and his team. There can never be development without peace, and in the same vein, there can never be peace without development. So the investments by His Excellency on providing support to the security establishment is a welcome development. It will assist our security agencies to perform their duties optimally and boost their morale.
Earlier in his remarks, Sokoto State Governor Ahmed Aliu said the distribution of palliatives is to address the plight of the people, especially the poor. He added that his administration has decided to assist the security agencies in tackling security challenges in the state. He also noted that 5.1 billion naira was spent on the procurement of grains for distribution free of charge to the people, irrespective of their religion or party affiliation. The event also featured unveiling of a transportation scheme by the state government comprising provision of 20 Toyota Camry cars exclusively for use by women, as well as 50 mass transit buses for intercity transportation service at affordable rates. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
As part of efforts to improve road infrastructure in the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has flagged off the resurfacing rehabilitation of existing roads and remedial works and bridges within the Federal Capital City. Carrying out the flag of exercise in the Garki district of the FCT on Monday, Wike disclosed that the road resurfacing rehabilitation project in the district falls under Phase 1 of the project, adding that work would also commence in the entire Garki district in the next few weeks. According to the minister, the provision of road infrastructure is one of the many benefits that President Bola Tinubu has promised residents of the FCT, adding that other aspects of development in the FCT would also be addressed in due course under the renewed hope agenda of the president. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetoku, has announced, in line with the Firearms Act and other extant laws in the interest of public safety and general security, establishment of an ad hoc committee tasked with the comprehensive review of firearms licenses and regulations by the Nigeria Police Force. Egbetoku on Monday revealed that the committee's mandate will encompass a thorough assessment of current firearms licensing procedures and regulations, with the aim of enhancing their effectiveness, transparency, and accountability. The force headquarters also said the police will engage with relevant stakeholders, including legal experts, civil society organizations, and experts in the field, to ensure a holistic and well-informed review. Report says 3 persons have been killed by gunmen suspected to be herdsmen during an attack in Opi Agu community in Nsukka local government area of Enugu State. The killing came barely 2 days after another 3 villagers in Agbada Nnewi community in Aniwi local government area of the state were killed by masked gunmen who invaded the community. It was gathered that the assailants launched the attack Monday night at Enya Unhuchiri village, while one of the deceased, identified as Chidike Onyeka, was said to have been butchered at Agu Udeli. A victim was also killed at Urie. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Lagbaja, has said the sit-at-home order enforced by the indigenous people of Biafra across the southeast states has ended. IPOB in August 2021 commenced the sit-at-home order to demand the release of its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, from prison. The order impacted the economy in the region and resulted in the loss of lives and properties of residents in the southeast. Speaking at the ECOWAS combined second and third quarters conference in Abuja on Tuesday, Lagbaja said the menace ended as a result of the heightened efforts of his men and collaboration with relevant stakeholders. Through Operation Udoka, our troops have, in collaboration with other relevant stakeholders, put an end to the infamous sit-at-home order that has almost crippled socio-economic activities in the region. A series of coups in Western Africa is putting the unity and capacity of the economic community of West African states, ECOWAS, to the test as it seeks to restore civilian rule in countries such as Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, and Niger. These four nations have joined forces to resist economic sanctions and potential military action by the other 11 countries within the bloc. On July 26, the military junta in Niger placed President Mohamed Bazoum under house arrest, accusing his administration of mismanaging the country's resources and allowing the security situation to deteriorate. In response, ECOWAS imposed trade sanctions on Niger and even threatened military intervention. Meanwhile, the coup plotters are reportedly using Niger's meager financial resources, including by allegedly extorting Sonidep, the national petrol company, and diverting customs taxes to put people on the streets and give the illusion of popular support. At least one person was on Tuesday morning confirmed dead in a lone accident involving a truck fully loaded on Otedola Bridge in Ward Ojodu Berger area of Lagos State. The Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Olufemi Oke Osayi Tolu, who confirmed the accident, said only one male adult died in the accident. According to him, his men arrived at the scene and discovered that the truck with number registration was involved in the accident. Further information gathered at the scene revealed that the truck lost control while descending the hill from Mobile Filling Station inward Otedola while trying to avoid collision with other vehicles. The driver compartment was found hanging down the bridge with some of the loads littering all over the road, thereby blocking the entire route under the bridge inward Otedola Estate. You're watching Global TV AM News coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly across social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Global TV AM News returns, Labour threatens indefinite strike, gives 1 week ultimatum. We'll tell you about these and more right after this break. Please don't go away. This is Global Television bringing you a live broadcast of the AM News from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The Nigerian Labour Congress NLC has said its planned industrial action, which may commence any day from next week, would lead to an indefinite shutdown of commercial and economic activities across the country. National Assistant General Secretary to the NLC, Christopher Onyeka, said Tuesday that the federal government was wrong to share a bag of rice to a dozen citizens while reportedly giving 100 million palliative to each member of the National Assembly. The union had on September 1st handed down a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government over the delay in sharing the palliative, saying it might be compelled to declare an indefinite labor action if its demands were not met. The NLC leadership had said the action was in preparation for a total shutdown, which would start at the expiration of the ultimatum next week. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, said Nigeria is exploring ways to improve trade and investment relations with India, stating that she is wooing various Indian entrepreneurs who are already doing business in Nigeria. The minister, who is in the company of President Bola Tinubu on the Nigerian team in the ongoing G20 summit in India, said this during a bilateral meeting with the Indian Minister of Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal. In a statement, Uzoka Anita said the trip has been fruitful, adding the Nigerians have reasons to be proud of the delegation's achievement in the Asian nation. She also said that Nigeria signed an agreement between Infrastructure Corporation of Nigeria Limited, also called Infracorp, and Invest India. The minister stated that Nigeria has more than 130 Indian companies that are active in Nigeria, including manufacturing, hospitality, oil and gas, as well as healthcare sector. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un arrived in Russia Tuesday ahead of a meeting with President Vladimir Putin that the United States has warned could see an arms deal to support Moscow's assault on Ukraine. Making a rare foreign trip and his first since the pandemic, an unsmiling Kim waved from the doorway of his heavily armored private train as it departed Pyongyang on Sunday evening. According to images published by North Korean state media, the White House warned last week that North Korea would pay a price if it supplies Russia with weaponry for the conflict in Ukraine. Defying the warnings, Kim left North Korea for Russia on Sunday, according to the official Korean Central News Agency KCNA. On Tuesday, Russian state news agency RIA Novosti said Kim had crossed the border, with images showing the train with dark green carriages being pulled along a track by a Russian railroad locomotive. The Central Bank of Nigeria may be asked to withdraw its audited annual financial reports, which were released last month. This came after a team investigating the Apex Bank discovered discrepancies and irregularities in the financial accounts. In August, the CBN released its financial accounts for the years 2016 to 2022 amid an ongoing probe of the financial services sector regulator by a special investigator appointed by President Bola Tinubu. According to findings, the CBN special investigator is working with a team of accountants, auditors, and forensic accountants to carry out the investigation. Multiple sources close to the investigation said a presidential approval would soon be obtained to enable the relevant agency, FRC, to order the CBN to withdraw the controversial financial accounts. Top sources close to the special investigator and his team said while the CBN financial accounts were not prepared using the International Financial Reporting Standards 9, which demands full disclosure of all financial transactions, the Apex Bank allegedly used guidelines purportedly obtained from the FRC in a controversial manner to prepare the financial account. In a bid to complement the federal government's efforts to improve the economy and create more jobs, a group of partners in the micro, small and medium enterprises MSME space are set to execute various MSME-focused interventions targeting 1.3 million beneficiaries across 17 states and FCT. The MSME and Job Creation Unit of the Vice President's Office, which is coordinating the interventions, has disclosed that the interventions are geared towards ensuring the realization of the Tinubu administration's commitment to job creation and economic diversification, with the MSMEs playing critical roles. Following Vice President Kashim Shettima's directives on the speedy execution of the projects, 5 of the interventions will be completed and delivered by December 2023. 12 other interventions are scheduled for completion before December 2024. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, said the presence of multiple taxation, which the World Bank termed nuisance taxes, has continued to prove to be a ban on economic development in the country. The NCC's Executive Commissioner and Stakeholders Management, Adeleke Adewolu, made this assertion at a regional workshop with industry stakeholders in Ibadan. Adewolu said, though multiple taxation is a barrier to economic development, but taxation in itself is a veritable tool for economic development. He said multiple taxation reverses growth, stifles innovation, and discourages investment, noting that they are the impediments put in place by the government to discourage development. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, on Monday has said Nigeria has over 60 different forms of taxes and levies. Many of the taxes, he added, made life unbearable for the poor in society. He said his committee was working to reduce taxes and levies to less than 10, which would be a decrease of 83.33%. He noted that most of these taxes were coming from the local government, while the money they got most of the time was not remitted to government coffers. As the first African Para Games tagged Accra 2023 sets to round off in Ghana, the Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Onwa-Eno, has congratulated Team Nigeria for again making the nation proud by clinching 2 medals in the women's wheelchair tennis. singles and doubles categories. He explained that the participation of Team Nigeria at the competition, which is the first of its kind, held after over 3.5 decades of the establishment of the African Sports Confederation of the Disabled and African Paralympic Committee, AFPC, will be in addition afford the nation's para-athletics an opportunity to experience a multi-para sporting event on the African continent. He reiterated the commitment of the present administration's resolve to ensuring the creation of an enabling environment for our athletes and in particular athletes in living with disabilities in the country, not only to afford them the opportunity to showcase their sporting talents across the globe, but also to raise the nation's flag high through podium finishes at all international competitions. And that's it on Global TV AM News, live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and all the handles now showing on your screen. I am Chidima Jerasin, thanking you so very much for watching. Good morning.